next time you need auto parts and accessories, trust the parts professionals at the 30 Raleigh-Durham O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Our professional parts people know what it takes to get the job done right. Professionals have counted on O'Reilly Auto Parts for decades. Now you can too. Professional parts people, O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You know what time it is? Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop from Mr. Cooper, from Mr. Cooper, from Mr. Cooper. Hang with Mr. Coop, with Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop from Mr. Cooper, from Mr. Cooper. Yeah.
All right, welcome to the Big Scoop with Coop. I'm your host, Coop. Of course, you know we're still going strong in Season 2 right now of the Big Scoop with Coop. Everyone, make sure you check out the website, www.bigscoopwithcoop.com. You can also find me on iTunes, also Google, also on Facebook also. Go to facebook.com/the Big Scoop with Coop. TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, BlackBerry, we're all over. So today my guest is actually the returning guest of the first episode of the Big Scoop with Coop on Season 1. This guy, of course, you know, movie galore. This guy is writing stuff, making stuff. You will learn more about this today also and what we have going on today. Ladies and gentlemen, none other, Nick Dalmacy. Nick, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing, man? Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, Nick, man, we already talked about in the first season, the first episode, how you actually started everything. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty of this thing, man. What we got going on, the Wicked series. Basically, one of the hottest new cinematic web series is actually going down right now. And, you know, they can find it on YouTube. But let's start back where we actually stopped at on the last episode that we talked about on Season 1. That's Sins of the Wicked. Now, what should people actually pay attention to and focus on of Sins of the Wicked?
Well, it's not going to be just, you know, just a regular web series. This is pretty much going to be, it's a different type of show. This was actually designed to just be a regular short film, you know, tour the film festival circuit and, you know, see its potential from there. And apparently I just basically thought that, you know, can't really do much with it, just, you know, touring the film festival circuit. So I decided to, like, you know, put it out in the web. And I just I didn't want to stop there, you know, and I kind of had the good fortune actually to be hanging with a few guys, yourself and Darrell White, who's also, you know, who's also the lead in there, and he's also a co-producer, to give me that spark and inspiration to actually come up with a part 2. So pretty much, you know, it's just that ending of part 1 segues into part 2, and then, you know, when I thought about it some more and more and more, I said, you know what, there should be a part 3 and then a part 4, and then so on and so on. So I have a whole bunch of other episodes, or I actually want to call it parts, you know, to put onto this, and, you know, I just want to have the universe for the Wicked series grow into something, you know. I mean, whatever it comes out, it'll come out.
Now, and help me remind me of this, Nick. I think it was probably a year and a half ago, we actually did a debut of Sins of the Wicked at the Rialto Theater. Yeah. And since the Rialto Theater and the releasing of it on YouTube last week or the week before, what type of comments have you been getting on the show? Have anybody approached you or said anything to you about it?
Well, the thing about it is, if I remember correctly, we had a very good. We didn't have a whole lot of people come out. You know, they had promoted that heavy, and I mean, so far what people have seen at that time, they liked it. The response was, pretty good, and that was cool. I enjoyed that vibe and everything else, but and I think it went to like one or two other film festivals. I think it was really one, and I heard the response for that one was really good, and I just felt like I just wanted to share the story more to a more broad audience,
right.
And I didn't want to just go. I just felt that it just needed a bigger platform, and what other bigger platform than the internet, to help propel the story and the awareness of what we're all trying to do with the story and everything else.
Well, that's true. And for the people that haven't seen the Wicked series or Sins of the Wicked, can you just give them a common breakdown of what the Wicked series is actually about?
The Wicked series is pretty much, you could say in a nutshell, about a dysfunctional family. It's basically a dysfunctional family heightened probably times 20. It's nothing that you'll ever see. It's not like the type of dysfunctional family that you see in, your regular TV shows, not like the soap operas that you've seen, not like, any other shows that's going on right now. It's pretty much, my whole, thing about it was I wanted to show how the journey begins for certain characters. And it's as simple as, a last conversation with one's father, and he learns a secret, and the secret basically is just more outlandish than you would ever think. You'll never, see everything that's coming, and it just gets a little crazier and crazier and even deadlier, So I'm adding a lot of, we're adding a lot of mixture of different genres, espionage and, spies, thriller, drama. But in its core, it's really somewhat of a family drama at its core, just a little bit heightened, but at the grind of it, it's really a family drama that's hit the melting pot.
That's a great description for it, to be truthful. I mean, you can't really get it more bluntly than that. Now, is there a certain crowd that you're targeting for to watch this, or are you trying to bring the whole world into this thing? How are you actually doing this?
Well, I mean, this is really set for everybody. Anybody who I think about the audience, and I think about the type of film. I think about my favorite films and my favorite genres, and I try to target to everybody, from teenagers and adults. If you want to talk about demographics, anybody from maybe 13 years old and up. I'm not making it, although there is violence, it's not ultra violent yet. I try to let the blood, to keep the blood down, the blood count down. You're not going to see a lot of sex. You probably hardly see any sex. You'll probably see more implications, but I want to be very visual with certain things without being gratuitous.
Okay.
So I'm trying to keep it, to where everybody can watch it and can enjoy it. I don't want to put too much restrictions on it. I don't want to restrict my audience, especially with at least the first three. So I would love to push the boundaries, certain episodes, but still thinking about my audience members.
Well, Nick, I know you better than a lot of people out there, and I know you're going to push that envelope. You're going to inch it. I see it coming. I really do. But this is what I want to know. What is the difference for everybody that haven't seen it, and even people that seen Sins of the Wicked, is there anything you can give to us today without giving the story away, where there's a difference between sins and sons? Sins of the Wicked and Sons of the Wicked? Would there be a big difference in the movie or the episode? Excuse me, for episode 1 and episode 2.
I can say that there's more locations. In part 2, we're gonna pretty much go a bit all over the place. I mean, it's the characters is gonna be there's gonna be new characters added, of course. Mm-hmm. A little bit more of the plot will be discussed. You know, but it's like pretty much, you know, introductions to other characters, and you'll be introduced to a brand new character that's going to be making his debut as Sons. His name is Xander King, and this is all I can tell you is that he is something. He's pretty much a force to be reckoned with, you know. And there's going to be other characters that's going to be, you know, added. And all I can say is, you know, just watch and you'll see, and pretty much you'll have some questions answered, and you'll probably have even more questions after seeing part 2. But
no doubt,
you know, there's pretty much. I mean, the main difference is that we're going to be, you know, we're going a little international also on this one in terms of the setting.
Okay.
So we're trying to broaden our horizon, so to speak.
And also, you actually get to see the face behind the voice also. So everybody that's watching, you get to see me.
You.
Yep.
You get to see you. You will be coming out, you know, and this will be your debut in terms of your face and everything. So you'll have a small scene that you'll share and everything. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we also hear your voice a little bit more as well.
Hey, I hope everybody's looking forward to that, because I know I am, guys. I'm ready to see it. Part 2, or episode 2, Sons of the Wicked, will be coming out soon, guys. So make sure you do go to www.youtube.com/the Wicked Series 1. Make sure you actually check it out now. There's some great promos on the page right now, trailers up there. You actually get to see episode 1 of Sins of the Wicked. And I want to say this for Nick right now. Make sure you watch after the credits. I can't stress that enough, guys. If you haven't seen Sins of the Wicked, go watch it. When you see the credits roll, if you don't know what credits are, that's where the names are going across the screen for the people that was actually involved in this movie. Watch beyond that, because you will have a nice surprise. And you're going to see a trailer for episode 2, Sons of the Wicked, guys. Now, Nick, right now, and you said that you have a lot in your mind as far as it goes for the Wicked series. How many episodes out in your mind have you played this thing?
As of today?
Right, as of today. Where have you, in your mind mentally, where can you get?
Probably about 10.
Wow.
I think I could churn out probably 10 so far. I know that down the line I'll probably need a little bit more help in story-wise, but, you know, I see about 10 episodes so far.
Okay. Well, guys, you heard it here first, man. I mean, we will try to pull out 10 episodes, and you never know what's going to happen to the characters, because the lovely thing about this show is any character, anything can happen to any character anytime. So, guys, if you've seen part 1, get ready for episode 2. When you see episode 2, just stay patient. Get ready for episode 3, all the way up to 10 or more. You never know what's going to happen with this thing. Nick, we want a little bit of behind the scenes on this show, and I'm going to try to squeeze this out of you. What, out of episode 1 and 2, what was your best time on the set? What was your favorite moment on the set taping episode 1 and episode 2?
That's a hard one.
Is there anything that stands out that you remember?
I don't know. I mean, part 2 was somewhat of a stressful shoot. It was wonderful, but it was a stressful shoot because being independent, you're gunning up against time, and you're trying. We was like, mainly outdoors a lot. We were outdoors a lot in part 2, and there were different, like I said, we had a lot of locations, and it was about, bouncing from one spot to another, and just a lot of, more moving parts and whatnot. So it was a little stressful to try to get through. Not saying that it wasn't, anything that was great, because I still had a great time shooting, but I would say part 1, everything that we did with the father and son, with Michael and Victor, that was fun. Also, I have to say it brought back, it was like a mini reunion, because I had Darrell White, I had Tawanda Austin, and I also had Maurice Thompson. Those 3 guys, they were, in my first film, my first feature film, Scorn. And it was just, it was, very cool. And I have to give a special shout out to Tawanda Austin, because she pretty much she saved the production at the very last minute. When I mean the last minute, it was, it was 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and I got a message from an actress who was supposed to play, Mama Staten, and she bailed on me. She basically told me some type of excuse, I don't even know what it is, and I just made a phone call to Tawanda, and she was able to just come out from Wilson out to Aiden and get it done, and it was, I love her immensely for it, and everything else, and, that was really a very, very, good day, I could say, when we shot that day, and she came out, she did her thing, and we was all just cracking jokes, and we was able to get the work done, and everything was just smooth about that whole production. So I would say my most favorite time was basically shooting everything at that location in Aiden for Sins of the Wicked.
Okay. Now, here's a little known fact that some people probably don't know about Sins of the Wicked. Sins of the Wicked actually is an award winner. And Nick, yeah. I'm not going to take this away. I'm going to let you tell people about this. Tell people what I'm talking about. It's an award winner.
I mean, it won an award at we came in 3rd place at the Black Film Festival out in Wilmington. So we were, we were grateful. It was a late entry, mind you. It was. I mean, that's all I can say. It was a late entry, and I mean, literally, like I think 2 days or something like that. And we was still able to pull it out and everything, and it was cool. I was humbled by it and everything. I don't do these things for awards. I do these things because this is my passion.
Right.
This is what how I live. I wish I could make a living off it. I mean, that's the goal. But again, awards, it doesn't really do anything for me. I'm grateful to have them and for the recognition. But the main thing for me is to make sure that I'm able to do something, tell a story, with a fantastic crew, talented crew, fantastic cast, and, who I deem to be like my family, and, able to entertain people, to tell a story and for people to resonate with and to respond very good, very well to. That's my award to myself. That's what I get out of it.
Well, not only that though, Nick. I'm gonna say this one word and see where you go to from this. Cans. It went to Cannes. Yeah, I didn't go because it was just way too expensive. I didn't expect. I'll say it is, man. It's like $5,000 just to go out there. If you don't plan ahead, you basically,
it doesn't make sense to spend all that money. It's like you look at how much money you spend going out there, you're gonna end up. That's money that you could spend to make another movie. But
yeah, I
was glad that it was able to get recognized by such a huge festival like Cannes, and we was at the short film corner portion of the whole festival and everything. And eventually, if I do something else and I take it out there, I'll probably decide to take a chance and go out there one day. But it's really cool. At the end of the day, it's not about all the glitz or the glamour. I mean, it's cool and I'm humbled by it going, but I ain't got no $5,000 to be going out there to schmooze or anything like that. Nah, I get that type of money, man. I'll shoot another episode or something.
Hey, I second you on that one. Most definitely I do. Because, I mean, that is a lot of money. It really is. But I do believe that, you will make it out there one day. And I believe you will get picked up. So I already see this going to happen. I really do believe it. I definitely do. Now, Nick, let me go on and bring up episode 2, not to give anything away, but I want to talk about some of the actors and actresses. Just your reaction off of them. Let's talk about Ayanna Johnson. How was she during the shooting?
She had an EDB part, but Ayanna, she's a great girl. I mean, she's all about her craft. She has some great input. This is what I love about actors and actresses like her. She'll spot certain things that you overlook, and basically helps you. And she's basically she's a great person to have on anybody's team. In front of the camera or behind the camera, and everything else. So she's wonderful. I mean, I'd love to. If there's anybody who I would love to create parts for, it would be for her. And, I have some other actors I would create parts for and everything else. But, definitely her. Her time is near. Most definitely. Her time is very near. She's gonna basically be something to really, really, someone to look forward to see more of down the line. So, real good person.
So, is there a possibility we may see her after part 2?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, most definitely. You're going to see her, and then definitely, let's put it to you this way. She's an integral part of the story.
Okay. All right.
As far as I'm going to go.
hey, like I said, don't give nothing away. We don't want to do that. Okay, what about Darrell and Corey? How are those? How are these guys going?
They good. I mean, they got a good, there's a mixture right there and everything. And, once you see them two in action, you'll get a sense of, you'll get your own idea as to how they really are.
Okay. And, probably in a few weeks, Darrell will actually be on the show. So he's actually coming on probably in about 2-3 weeks. We'll have to get back in contact with him again. So, Darrell, if you're listening right now, let's get back in contact. I haven't forgotten about you. We got to get you on the show. So it's coming up there. Dana Williamson actually kicked off episode 2 for me. Also, so, a lot of the cast, a lot of the crew was actually coming on the show. Now, Nick, let me ask you this right here. Now, part 1, part 2 is on YouTube. Are you trying to take this thing any further than YouTube?
Well, you got to remember, part 1 is on YouTube. Part 2 is coming on YouTube.
Well, it's coming on YouTube, yeah. It's coming.
Yeah, and, it's so funny, before we started the call, I was just looking over the sound mix that I just got, and we are pretty much 98% done with sound, with just about 3 things that just got to get tweaked. And, I mean, if everything gets done today, I could say that it'll probably be safe to say that it'll be ready for YouTube probably tomorrow.
Wow.
Wow. But I'm just waiting to hear back from from my guy. If he sends it, if he does everything else today, then we should be ready for tomorrow. But I am looking to probably put it out in Vimeo. I mean, YouTube is such a huge monster, and I can't really see putting it on any other type of platform. I mean, YouTube has millions and millions and millions of people on there. And, with everything else from, adding it on Facebook or anything else, people will be able to skip at any time on their own demand.
Right.
So, now, the only thing I could say is if someone was to want to pick this up, then, you'd be seeing more of this story on actual TV.
And that's what I'm hoping for.
That's the wish. That's the wish, actually. That's the wish that I'm hoping that'll come true.
Well, I mean, why not? I mean, I'm hearing rave reviews already. I mean, I know I'm getting approached and I'm getting messaged and emailed and everything else saying, okay, how do you all cut off part one right there? And they hearing after the credits the reason why. So I'm not going to say what happens after the credits because everybody that's listening, I want you all to go watch. And when you listen to what happens after the credits, you'll see why people are approaching me. Nick, have you been approached about that yet? About why did it stop? Or I'm not going to ask a certain question, but people are like, who and why? Or are you getting that?
Well, I've gotten it. I've gotten it a few times. Some people ask me. I pretty much, I don't even respond. I just, just sit back, and I just, because the thing is that I see everybody else is getting asked the same question and everything, and I even hear people have their own assessment as to, really what their thinking is towards the ending, and I'm like, okay, well, if that's how you feel, then, just wait till part two. Part two will either confirm your theory or it could probably give you more of a bigger headache. But, I mean, I've had a few people that I just, either I don't say anything or I just, say just wait till part two and everything. I'm not saying, I'm mum on everything.
And, I think that's what everybody's actually saying, just wait to part two. And people are actually getting approached and, like I said, asking that question, who, why? And like I said, I'm not going to come out and just say the question is being asked, because if I say the question is being asked, you guys are not going to actually watch after the credits. So that's what I'm telling everybody. Make sure you watch after the credits so you'll know what me and Nick is talking about right now. So, Nick, don't spoil that question. I'm not going to spoil that question at all, so make sure you don't do that. Now, Nick, what is the odds of, well, not odds, let me just ask straight up. Would there be a premiere like at the Rialto Theater for Sons of the Wicked, or is this just going right now straight to YouTube, or how is this going to do?
That's a lot of work, man. Just putting up premiere, promotions and everything. I mean, I'll tell you this. It kind of hurts me to say that because I am very much into the cinemas. I love the movies. I love the movie-going experience. I just love everything what the movie-going experience is all about. And, as much as I would love to, watch my work up on the big screen, because, that's like the biggest, greatest feeling, when you're in this business, to see your work on a 8-foot screen, and a huge screen like that, especially at the Rialto, it's wonderful. But it is a lot of work. It's a lot of work for me, for one person, to come up with, promotions and everything. Not saying that I don't like doing it. It's just that with everything else that goes on in my life, outside of the movie gig, it's just a lot, and it's, it could drain you, and I rather, one thing I like actually about, putting things online is that you don't have that, you don't really have that angst, that burden of hoping that, a lot of people is going to come and see it because, it's online. The awareness is going to be out there. It will grow. Fan base will grow. The first day we debuted on YouTube, I think we had like about, four? I can't even remember. It was like about, 200?
The first day?
The first day. We debuted it on YouTube at 9 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And within 24 hours, I could say, we had about maybe 300 or 400, views. That may not be a big thing to a lot of people because, but for the first chapter of a series and everything, I consider that to be a good success. But if I was to put it out in theater, like we did with Sins, Sins, we didn't have a lot of people that came out. I can't remember. I think we had about 50 people that came out and everything. Mm-hmm. It's 50 people I don't really know, but hey, it was cool. But I take it back to when I did Scorn, and I put Scorn in the theater. We had about 300 some odd people come out to see Scorn, but the 2 months of intense marketing, putting commercials out, cutting commercials together, and it's all on me. I'm the one doing it. I didn't hire anybody else to do it. I did it all on my own. It was a great experience, but it was also daunting. There was a lot of work, and, it can consume you big time. I understand why, studios and stuff, they have their marketing team, and those guys, that's all they're there for, is just to think of ways to get people into the theaters or people to watch your shows and everything. For me, being a writer, director, producer, I'm trying to come up with the next episode. I'm trying to write the script, edit some stuff, go over sound, go over coloring, and then go over marketing. It's really, I'm beating myself in the head with it, and on top of it, I got to do my regular 9 to 5 thing. So
right.
It's like I said, it's a whole lot of work, But so that's why putting it out on YouTube or Vimeo or just basically putting it online, it just relieves a lot of stress, And so far, after we're like what? I forgot how many. I don't even know how many views we're up, but I'm hoping that I think we're at about 800 views. I think I'm not even sure. No, 700 views, I believe, we're up to in YouTube, and this is after a full week. This is after 7 days.
Wow.
I take it back. We debuted it 2 weeks ago, right? Yep. So this is, tomorrow will make 2 weeks. So, I'm hoping that when the second one come out, we'll have doubled that viewership and everything. So, still a learning process. I'm not a YouTube guy or nothing like that. So it's still a learning process in terms of getting and see how things get viral and everything else. So.
Well, I definitely feel you on that, Nick. But it's good that you did put it out there on YouTube because, like you said, when you're doing the movie theaters, it can get packed out. And if you think about the numbers that saw it within 24 hours, that right there can't fit one area of the movie theater. So if you think about it now, numbers are still going. And I'm enjoying watching the numbers grow because some people may find it small, but personally I don't, because you can actually say, okay, 700 people watched it. That's what like saying, okay, 700 people in your house watching what you just did. That's a lot of people, and it's still growing. Right. So, I definitely see where you're coming from on that, man. This is congrats to you, and I'm really enjoying everything, and I know more to come. So, part 1, part 2, part 10. I'm waiting for it all. Now, if people want to get in contact with Nick Dalmacy and guys, just if I say this wrong, please forgive me. I will correct it after the show. But if I'm not mistaken, I think it's thewickedseries@gmail.com. If I'm not mistaken, that's an email right there. If you want to do a Q&A with Nick, as far as it goes for the Wicked series. Now I will let you know. And I hate to speak for Nick, but don't ask the question that you think you will get some future info on the shows. He probably will give you the generic answer saying just stay tuned and watch. That's what he probably going to say. But if you have some questions, email the guy. He's right there. I know he'll love to hear from everybody. Am I correct, Nick?
Yeah, well, of course. I'm sure that people, I always love to take, look at comments. Of course, it's always good to read comments and everything, because at least it would help me tell the story. I would say it would inspire me on different ways of telling the story. The cool thing about it is that I'm basically going from story to story, so it's not like how they normally do it on network television, where they'll have a bubble of people, they'll have a group of people basically hammering out scripts. And they're just hammering out, and then next thing you know, they're going off shooting the entire season, and they will start airing it. And sometimes, they leave the last episode, the last 2 episodes, of the season to shoot while the season is still going. Sometimes they'll do that, and I guess they'll look at comments to see, hey, you know what, we could go this direction, we could go that direction, that will lead into the season 2. But what I'm doing pretty much is hey, I did Sims, I put it out, and then I did Sons, and I've been hearing good things, it's kind of scary because so far I haven't heard anything bad about it. And I'm like, oh, I don't, regard myself as someone with skills. I worked hard and I studied hard to and I learned the craft, and not to mention I'm an avid movie watcher and movie goer. I've been a fan since I was a baby. So, I take a lot of points from the masters. But it's always good to hear some type of constructive criticism. It'll help me shape certain things a different way. I could sit there and hear, okay, if I hear something like, it'd be great if you do this or you do that, and I'll just take it into some type of consideration. Talk about it with my team, and if it's something that we can mess with, it's something that we can mess with. If not, then hey, you know what? Let's move on. But yeah, that's the cool thing about this thing, because after Sons, I'm about to shoot Legacy, the 3rd part, and I'll be I'm gonna just listen out to the fans to see how they like it, and if they like it, that's great. We just keep it moving. If not, if there's some suggestions and stuff like that, okay, we'll take that into some consideration. Can't please everybody, but we'll try to keep everybody satisfied.
So true. Well, that's what I want to tell everybody. I believe you're going to be satisfied regardless of how this thing is going to end out. So, guys, once again, make sure you go to youtube.com /The Wicked Series 1. If you can't remember what's after the /, go to YouTube and do a search for The Wicked Series or Sins of the Wicked. So you can pull it up those 2 ways also. Make sure you do that, guys. Nick, I want to say thank you for coming on the show, man. You actually enlighten a lot of people. I believe the people that's actually listening globally all around. Make sure you guys go to YouTube. I want to make sure that you all see this. And within a few days to a couple of weeks, I might be pushing out a little long, but I want to say a few days to a couple of weeks, you're going to see episode 2. So make sure you try to spot me out. Make sure you spot out the rest of the actors and actresses, and just sit back, get your popcorn, get your drink, lay back, and enjoy the show, guys. So, Nick, once again, thank you for coming on the show, man. Thanks for blessing the show with your information. Yes, sir. You heard it here first on the Bit Scoop with Coop, and we'll catch you next time, people.